Okay, so we want to discuss the power of leverage. And once again, I want to discuss the examples that I did in the class. Okay, so in our first scenario, in our first scenario, we have a house which worth now 300,000, and you buy it now. A year from now, the house is actually going to increase in price to $400,000. Okay, now you want to verify your profit. You want to actually realize your profit. So what is going to be your performance? Your performance is going to be your profit, which is the difference between the prices, which you divide by your initial investment, which is $300,000. Okay, so this is exactly the formula PT plus 1 minus PT divided by PT. This is going to be your profit. This is going to be your current price or your investment. Okay, and hence you are going to get your performance to be 33.333%. Now, when you actually look on that from the finance point of view, all we care about in finance, okay, is your performance. How much is your return, okay? And what you want to do, you want to input as less money as possible, okay, to get as much money, as much profit as possible. So in your second scenario, I argued, right, that if you take a mortgage of $60,000, okay, you buy the house for 300,000. So your balance sheet looks like that. You have your asset, which worth $300,000, but you also owe to the bank $240,000. Okay? Now, when you sell the house, what is going to be your profit? Your profit will still be, okay, $100,000. Okay? But your investment is only 60,000. Okay? So instead of taking $300,000 here and making a profit of 100,000, if you actually play this mortgage game, you only need to invest a down payment to get your $100,000. If you actually want to look on this calculation in detail, right? So you have $400,000 here. This is your sale price. Minus 240, which is what you own to the bank, you have 160,000. Now you invested only $60,000 from your pocket. So what is going to be your profit? Your profit is going to be the same. Which is $100,000. Okay, however, how much money you are going to invest? Only 60. So your performance now is not going to be 33%, but it's going to be actually $100,000 divided by $60,000, right? So it's going to be 160%, give or take, right? So your return in the second case is much higher than your return in the third case, in the first case, right? Because you invested much less to get the same profit. So that's what I'm talking about. Now, if you would actually go with this $300,000, and instead of buying one house, you buy 5 houses, right? Your profit on these 5 houses would be $100,000 each. So you take 100,000, you multiply by 5, you get $500,000 profit, right? Which means that instead of taking one house with cash, you can take and make 100,000. You can take the same investment of $300,000, and if you're willing to do a leverage, in other words, if you're willing to borrow from the bank, right, you go and you can actually make $500,000. Okay? So it's a no-brainer. You can make 5 times as more if you leverage 1 to 5. Okay? So when we talk about the power of leverage, that's what we mean. It's basically, if we actually not leveraging, right, we have an opportunity cost. Now, of course, it can go against you and you can lose your money. But there is no risk, no gain, right? So that's what I mean when I'm talking about, the power of leverage. And in reality, right, you can play this game also with the stock market, let's say. But the issue with the stock market is that you cannot rent the property, so it won't pay your mortgage. Okay, so we will discuss it a little bit more maybe in the second lecture, and also when we are going to do 5332. But that's exactly the point, right, of the power of leverage. And as I told you in class, the business model of any investment bank is to play this game. Okay, so I hope that this video helps you to kind of grasp this a little bit better. Okay, thank you and have a great day. Bye.